When I was 21 years old, I was getting paid £17,000 a month. This is not from trading, this is not from a side hustle, and this is not from dropshipping. This is from a skill in tech that I taught myself from my bedroom. And right now, because of AI, that same skill is easier to learn than ever and worth more than it's ever been. So today, I'm gonna break down exactly how crypto compensation works, why developers in the space are earning more than any other technical role on the planet, and how AI is making this the single best skill to learn in 2026 if you actually want to make money online. For those who don't know me, my name's Amaechi. I'm a crypto security engineer and I run a company called Decentral Hub. And over the last few years, we've launched, built and secured over $250 million worth of crypto projects. I've worked personally with Chainlink, Solana, Deutsche Telekom, Pudgy Penguins, and many more teams within the crypto space. And I've had my students land roles at Binance, Ethereum Foundation, Solana, all before or right after finishing university. And the reason I can talk about this with this level of detail is because I've lived every single version of it. I started off as a freelancer, I then got employed, and now I run my own agency. I've done all three. And right now, the way AI is changing how we work is making all three of those pathways faster and more lucrative than even when I started. So let me take you back to when I was working at Chainlink. I was 21 years old, I hadn't finished university, and I was getting paid a salary near enough £10,000 a month. Now, for most people watching this, that kind of money at 21 years old with no degree would already sound unreal, and it was. But that wasn't even the full picture, because on top of that base salary, I had something called long-term token incentives. And this is where crypto payments actually get interesting, because it works completely different from traditional tech. So when I started, they assigned me a fixed dollar amount in tokens for the year. And basically the token price was locked in from day one. That amount gets divided equally into quarterly payouts. So every 3 months, I'd receive a huge chunk of tokens. Now here's the thing, if the price of the token went up, then the amount that was set from when I got paid was actually worth more. So my actual payout, I ended up getting more. So in strong months, my total compensation ended up hitting £17,000 in a month. And in standard months, it varied maybe from 9 to 10 to 11. So this is not stock options where you wait for several years and hope the company IPOs and then maybe see something. These were liquid tokens that were hitting my wallet quarterly. I could hold them, I could sell them, it was completely my choice. And at 21 years old with no degree, working from my laptop, traveling the world, most people would want that kind of lifestyle. So instead of trading charts at 3 a.m. hoping a coin pumps, I was getting paid a salary with token upside to write code from my laptop. Same computer, completely different outcome. Now you might be thinking, why? Why does crypto pay so much more than normal tech? And it's a fair question because when you think about it, there were fewer than 30,000 blockchain developers in the entire world. The global developer population is somewhere around 30 million. So blockchain developers make up less than 1% of that. And these protocols are managing billions of dollars, billions in total value locked, billions in user funds. The code is literally the product. The code is also where the risk is, right? Because one bug and one vulnerability and several millions disappear, like we've seen so many times. So when you're hiring someone to write or review that code, you don't go cheap because you can't afford to. Now layer on the fact that crypto is fully remote. So when I was working at Chainlink, we literally had people in every single continent. There wasn't a single physical office anywhere in the world. And that's how most of the industry operates. There's no leases, there's no facilities team. All of that overhead that traditional companies spend on keeping people in a building, crypto companies just push that straight into compensation. And there's the competition factor, right? Because protocols are sitting on treasuries worth hundreds of millions of dollars, all fighting for the same tiny pool of qualified developers. So that just means that the salaries go up. So you don't really need to negotiate too hard. You just need to have the qualifications and then the market will do the rest. Here's where it gets really interesting because everything I described was the landscape before AI entered the picture. What's happening right now is taking us to a whole nother level entirely. Because first, the intersection of AI and crypto is creating a whole new category of work. AI agents that operate on chain. Protocols that need smart contracts to handle autonomous transactions on decentralized infrastructure or AI models. And companies are building AI tools that interact with blockchains. So this isn't theoretical, this is live, and this is where capital is flowing right now. The people building it need both skill sets. They need someone who understands smart contracts and understands how AI systems interact with them. That crossover talent barely exists yet, so the demand is enormous and the compensation reflects it. Second, AI is making you more productive as a developer, and this matters more than people realize, Because when I started writing a smart contract, testing it, deploying it, that was a full manual process. Today you can use AI tools to accelerate your development speed significantly. And you can scaffold contracts even faster. You can identify patterns in code faster, and you can research vulnerabilities faster. So what used to take a week can literally take you 2 days or even less. And when you're freelancing at 500 to £1,000 a day, being twice as productive doesn't just save time, it doubles your earning capacity. You can take on more clients, you can deliver faster, you can charge the same rate and just simply make more. Third, and this is what no one is talking about right now, AI is making the skill easier to learn. The barrier to entry for crypto development used to be brutal because there was barely any documentation, the tooling was confusing, and there was a steep learning curve with no guidance. Now you can use AI as a study partner, a debugging tool, and a code reviewer. You can ask it to explain concepts, walk you through architecture, and help you understand what a contract is doing line by line. So the skill is the same. The path to getting there has just been compressed. So what took me 2 years of grinding on my own, someone starting today with the right guidance and the right AI tools can realistically do in just a few months. But here's the key thing, because AI doesn't replace the need for you to understand. It just amplifies the people who do. If you don't know what you're looking at, AI will confidently give you wrong answers and you won't catch it. And in crypto, wrong answers are going to cost you real money. So the developers who understand the fundamentals and who can verify the outputs from the AI and who can think and understand security and the edge cases that AI misses are now even more valuable, not less, because AI has raised the floor, but has also raised the ceiling for people with real knowledge. So let me walk you through the 3 ways you can actually earn money with this. The first pathway is employment. This is exactly what I did at Chainlink. You just join a crypto protocol or crypto company full time. You get a base salary anywhere from about 70 to 100,000 pounds, depending on your level, and you also get token incentives on top. This pathway suits people who want stability, who want to learn the ecosystem from the inside, and who want to build a network while getting paid well. The second pathway is freelancing and contracting. And this is where it gets really interesting for anyone who wants to work for themselves, because crypto freelance developers charge day rates of 500 to £1,000. And if you're doing smart contract security or audited work, it's even higher. You get to pick your clients, you get to pick your hours, you get to pick who you work with and where you work from. And you use AI tools to accelerate your workflow. So you can now deliver at a pace that wasn't even possible 2 years ago. And that more output and the same quality just equals more income. I haven't cold outreach for a client in years. Everything that I get today is from referrals. Now the third pathway is building a company around it, and that's what I've done here at Decentral Hub. You take the skills, you build a team, and instead of trading your time for money, you're building a system that generates revenue across multiple clients simultaneously. We've served over 50 clients and we've helped raise over £20 million for projects. And at this level, you can structure deals with equity and revenue share, meaning that you're not just earning income, you're actually building assets. Most developers follow this progression naturally. You start employed, you learn the ecosystem, you build up your reputation, and then you move into freelancing or founding. And each stage pays you more and gives you more control. So let's put this into real numbers, right? Because traditional software development in the UK pays you about 35 to 40,000 pounds as an entry developer, maybe 70 to 80,000 pounds as a senior engineer after 5 or 6 years. It's a good career, don't get me wrong, no one's saying it isn't, but in crypto development, 70 to 80,000 pounds is what you're looking at entry, and that's the floor. 100, 120,000 pounds, 150,000 pounds, mid-level, and senior roles way above 150,000 pounds, going into 250,000 pounds. And this is all before token compensation, right? So a traditional developer might take 6 years to reach what a crypto developer earns in their first year. It's the same skills, the same intelligence, same work ethic, but the only difference is that the industry that you apply those skills in makes the biggest difference. Now, for anyone who's been jumping between business models trying to make money online, think about this. Dropshipping, agency work, affiliate marketing, all of those require you to sell something, to find companies, to find customers, to compete on marketing. Whereas crypto development is just a pure skill. You learn it, you prove it, and the market pays you. So there's no ad spend, there's no acquisition funnel. It's just code on a screen that companies need written properly. And now with AI, you can learn it even faster and build it even faster, so you're earning even faster. That's literally as clean as it gets. So how do you get here? Because knowing the opportunity exists is one thing, but capturing it is different. Technical skills is a baseline, but you need to be able to write smart contracts. You need to be able to understand how blockchains work at a protocol level. Solidity is the most in-demand language in the blockchain space right now, and security knowledge is the most underserved skill. So if you can audit smart contracts, you're in a category of people with almost no competition. And that's why one of my students went really deep and he got hired on his first ever job application. Now layer AI on top of your workflow from day one. Don't learn it, but use it to accelerate your understanding, to test your code and explore edge cases. There's developers who use AI as a multiplier while maintaining deep understanding. And these are the ones that the protocols are gonna fight over. So beyond the technical, you need to understand the industry, not just the code, but why the code matters, what the protocols do, how value flows. So when you show up to an interview or pitch for a client, you can speak about the space with depth and you don't sound like someone who's just chasing a paycheck. You sound like someone who belongs in the industry. And that is what gets you in the door. The last piece is proof of work. It's not a certificate, it's not a course completion badge, it's real projects deployed on real chains and code that somebody can verify and use. One of my students joined in his last summer break and built a real client project through our community, and within 6 months he was working at Binance, still in his third year of university. The difference is because his portfolio showed real signal. It was not portfolio tutorial projects. The money in crypto is real. It's not a gimmick, and right now with AI lowering the barrier to entry while raising the value of people who truly understand the space, there's never been a better time to start. Every earning path that I showed you today, whether it's employment, freelancing, or running an agency, it all starts with just the same one thing: a technical skill applied in the right industry. And if you want to see the full framework for how to get from where you are right now to actually landing a crypto role or landing your first crypto client with this kind of payment, I've put everything in the link in the description. So go watch it. And if this video showed you an opportunity that you didn't know existed, I want you to subscribe, because this is what we talk about on this channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.